hours to find from Gunfighter 6. We got 30 seconds out. Can't see everything. That's why we're on the ground.
Well, sorry for the secrecy, Dan.
Oh, that's all right, Chris.
How are you doing?
I'm a little bit flustered, I'm going to lie. It's a bit awkward getting here.
Well, you're not walking out.
So I understand that your involvement in the game is that you wrote the prologue.
Yes, EA approached me some time ago to produce a storyline which would be the introduction to the game, so a prequel. And basically it was a great opportunity to bring the book world and the gaming world together and hopefully encourage some people to start reading. The storyline is based on 4 of the characters that is in Medal of Honor, and it basically sets them up of who they are and what they are. And basically, you know, once you get to the end of the storyline, you're ready to play the game.
So Chris, what drew you to the project of Medal of Honor? And of course you wrote the book. Did you have any other involvement as well?
Well, first of all, it was actually working on Medal of Honor, and you know, that's a great game. And then secondly, working alongside the Tier 1 operators, actually being allowed to set the story up, and as I said, the prequel, and which will inform, you know, the reader, then the gamer, of what it's all about.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay. So, have you played the game yourself? Have you been able to get your hands on it?
I've run through the game with the guys, and they've taken me through most of the levels, which was really impressive. First thing that I can say, you know, the graphics are unbelievable.
They are indeed, yes.
The equipment the guys are using is spot on. That's everything from weaponry to vehicles to aircraft, and then on top of that, it's the movement and it's the whole package put together. Now, as an ex-serviceman myself, an ex-operator, there's a certain feel to this game which is authentic and very, very real. And as I've said, you know, I was really impressed with what I've seen.
Excellent. What similarities were there that really lied with the experience that you had when you read the book and then when you read the game? Did you find that you were able to maintain the pace, or did the game maintain the pace of the book?
Well, originally, what I was given is a number of images, and it was images from the game. I put these all out onto the desk, and actually I took a number of images which I then came up with the storyline, and as I'm really happy because I actually finished the storyline before I saw the game, and it actually fits in really, really well.
Excellent.
In terms of the operators coming together, going out on an operation, and then just flows.
Marvellous. All right, so you mentioned storyline. Now, don't obviously want to pry too much, but are we looking at something of an emotional ride here, or is it very much going to be the nitty-gritty of the experience that you put into the story?
Well, Chris Ryan doesn't do emotions. He doesn't have any, first of all. No, I think what I'm known for is within the novels, they're realistic, they're gritty. I work, you know, basically from my knowledge of being an ex-SAS soldier. So it's warts and all, it's how it is on the ground, and that's what I try to put in there. I haven't gotten to the flowery stage yet of doing, you know, getting emotional, but this time.
So, Chris, how are they going to be able to get hold of that book that you've written?
Well, if they go out and pre-order the book, it's an exclusive deal where you will be given the book with the game.
Lovely. And where can you get that from?
HMV.
Oh, lovely. Okay, excellent. All right, well, thanks for your time, Chris. And I do hope I can get out, because I'd like to see my family.
Well, thanks for having me. Bring the hood.
The elite operators of the U.S. Special Operations community are tasked with only the most difficult and dangerous missions. The subject featured in the following interview operated within this community and acted as a consultant on the development of Medal of Honor. Their identity has been concealed for security purposes.
Some people have got this Hollywood image of what an operator is. It's more than just, I'm a soldier. People will get a distinct, realistic feel for guys that are operating at those levels. I think they've gone the extra mile trying to figure it out.
What would guys say? How would they act? There are some elements of absolute seriousness. There are also personality aspects to give it a little bit more flavor, but realistic flavor.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
If I talk about something half an hour later, I could see the results of what I said taking place on the screen.
Go loud, go loud!
The games that are currently out there, at least the ones that I've seen, nothing simulates being on a real op. Medal of Honor is going to be different.
We do have a say, and they do respect the fact that we have sacrificed so much of our lives to become what we are, and we can help them understand what it is all about, what is going on over there.
Somebody asks me what I do for a living, I help people. When I'm on an op, I'm not thinking about anything about the op. Home is at home. What the job is in front of you, that's the only thing that matters at the time. Guys are always going to modify their gear the way that they want to, obviously, but nobody's going to dictate how you carry your magazines or what holster you use. The bottom line is results. If you're on a DA and you're kicking doors and the only thing you're thinking is check your six, give the squeeze, and do your job, once you're in the door, you're thinking A-box shots. A-box shots on shoots, and don't shoot the no-shoots. If everybody's standing, then we're good to go. Let's tackle the next problem. Every man around you has the utmost confidence in you to do your job, and at the same time, you've got to do your job because they're expecting you to. Even when a mission is successful, you can bet there's a dozen lessons learned that you've taken home. Success within a brotherhood is defined as taking care of your brothers. That's the bottom line. Everybody comes home.
I had a teacher, in high school reading about history, and I remember telling her, because I was kind of a smart ass, and I told her, I don't want to read about somebody else. I want to make history. I want to do it. The kind of character traits that a Tier 1 guy needs to possess, obviously the physicality. He's got to be in good shape. He doesn't have to be the strongest guy, but he's got to be the guy that probably is well above average. Intelligence-wise, they got to be smart guys. In the big Army, you're more of a hammer. It's a large instrument. When you start talking about the Tier 1 elements, it's much more of a scalpel approach. You're trying to do something very surgical. You're trying to do things with the most precise element that you can bring to bear. And a lot of times that can be just a single Tier 1 operator. No telling what he had to do to get to that point so that he could go through that door, so that he could confront a guy with a gun who wants to kill him. And he is going to try to, in a very surgical method, apply the very precise amount of damage to the bad guys without inflicting any damage on the hostages that may be in there. He's risking his life to save somebody else's life. He's doing it at great risk to not only himself, but his teammates. I would rather take a bullet myself than do something stupid that resulted in one of my buddies getting shot. I wish that the public in general could have an understanding of what guys do. Not just what they do operationally, but what they sacrifice for years and years and years in order to be the guy who is at the tip of the spear. For me, I'm not a very sociable person, to be quite honest. Ask my wife. I don't consider a lot of people friends, but if you're any innocent person that's in harm's way, we wanted to be the guys that came and tried to do their best to stop the bully.